Ich freue mich jetzt sehr, einen echten Oscar- und Golden Globe-Gewinner bei mir begrüßen zu dürfen. Am 24. Januar kommt sein neuer Film in die deutschen Kinos, Das Vermächtnis des geheimen Buches. Ich bin jetzt sehr aufgeregt. Hier ist er bei mir, Nicolas Cage. Hi, Nicolas.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. It's so great to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's nice to be here.
So let's talk about your new movie, National Treasure, The Book of Secrets. As we know from the first part, you play Ben Gates, who gets involved in an exciting adventure again. Could you please tell us a little bit more about the story?
Well, this is a different story than the original National Treasure because this story is dealing with the assassination of our president in the United States, President Abraham Lincoln, and John Wilkes Booth, who had a diary. And in the diary, several pages were missing. And it's put forth that my great-great-grandfather, Thomas Gates, had something to do with the Lincoln assassination, and that's why the pages were ripped out of the diary. And I'm trying to say that he was trying to prevent a Confederate rebellion because there was a treasure map on those pages leading to the famous Cibola, which is the City of Gold. And I have to find the City of Gold to prove that that was what my great-great-grandfather was doing. So it's a whole new set of rules, and it's a lot of fun. It's historically accurate, some of the clues that come up, and it's a brand new movie. I know it's a sequel, but still it plays like a brand new movie.
Yeah, why did you decide to do a sequel? Because normally you don't do that.
Well, it's the reason why I haven't done a sequel is I haven't had many opportunities to do a sequel to begin with, and second, I normally don't like the idea of repeating myself. But then again, I enjoyed Basil Rathbone in the old Sherlock Holmes films in the 50s, and I thought if I was going to do a sequel, this would be a good one because I get to play a detective of history and archaeology, and it's positive. It's a positive entertainment. It doesn't have a lot of gunplay or violence, and it's something I think you can take the whole family to. So there's other things worse than stimulating youngsters to look in their history books, so I said, yes, let's do it. I believe if you're going to do a sequel, it has to be better than the original, and I think this one is.
So, well, me too. I think this was the right decision. You produced a movie on the original locations. Did you enjoy that? Was it fun for you to be in England and France?
Yes, I like to travel, and I was excited to see National Treasure become more or less international treasure. And if we ever do another one, all the actors and myself, I hope it continues to go wider and wider and throughout the world into Asia or Africa, I think places like Egypt perhaps. But of all the places that I went to in Book of Secrets, I have to say that the Black Hills of South Dakota in my own backyard was by far the most enchanting. It's just a beautiful country. It's sacred Native American ground, and if you ever go there, I recommend you take a trip there to the Black Hills.
Okay, so I have to.
Yeah.
I heard about a very big car chase scene on the streets of London. How did you manage that, shooting this with all the traffic?
Well, it was a bit uncomfortable because I'm not very comfortable driving on the other side of the road. As you know, I'm being an American, we have a different side of the road, and so I got a little dyslexic and a little confused, but somehow it always works out in the end.
Well, somebody said that your character, Ben Gates, is a new brand of movie hero. Would you agree?
Well, I would have to have a little elaboration. How is he a new? What were they suggesting?
Yeah, that was my question. Well, I was thinking maybe you can explain it. I don't know what he means.
I don't either.
Okay, so next question. Do you have something in common with the character of Ben Gates?
Yeah, I think I do. One of the elements of Ben that I like, and I wanted to accentuate, is he has a great deal of respect for his ancestors. We've seen it in other cultures around the world, particularly in Asia, where there's ancestor worship, and it's unusual to see a white American male, per se, who will do everything he can because he wants to protect the reputation of his departed relatives, his ancestors. To him, I think he's they're not dead to him. They're still with him, and everything he is because of his ancestors in his mind, and he will risk all to protect his great-great-grandfather, which is unusual, and I like that about him. The other element that I like is his love of history. I've always been interested in history, but my interests are more ancient history, ancient civilizations. So when I was doing National Treasures 1 and 2, I became more interested in the history of my own country. And I'm just comfortable in places that emanate history, that have the heaviness of past events upon them. I love places like England, for example, or Germany. And but the United States is fascinating because it's such a comparatively young country, a little more than 200 years, and yet you still feel it there as well in places like Boston and Philadelphia and Newport, Rhode Island.
So you have German ancestors, right?
Yeah.
Is that why you've bought a new home for you and your family in Neidstein?
Yes, yes. You know, I grew up predominantly learning about my father's side of the family of Italian descent, and so I wanted to explore the other side of my roots, and I decided to look into my German side. And apparently my ancestors were winemakers of like ice wine, things like Gewürztraminer and such, out on the Rhine River near a place called, I think it's called Cochem, or C-O-C-H-E-M. Mm-hmm. And my German isn't very good, but in any event, I thought it would be nice to get a little place there. And it's not I know there's been a lot of talk about it being this enormous castle. It's not. It's quite modest, and it needs a lot of love and needs to be restored, but it will be. And I thought it would be nice to have my family come out and have holidays there from time to time.
Yeah. So you said that you can't speak German, but on Golden Camera Awards, at the Golden Camera Awards, you talk to the audience in German. So do you know some German expressions?
No, I don't, because I personally think Americans speaking German sound ridiculous, so I will never do that again.
No, that was pretty good.
Well, pretty good's not good enough for me, so I'm not.
It was really good.
Well, thank you. But you're not going to hear any German out of me tonight.
So do you already know where you will be on Christmas Eve? Will you spend your time with your family?
Well, actually I do, and I'm going to enjoy a Christmas in England this year. I've never done it. I've always had a fantasy about a Dickens Christmas. When I say Charles Dickens, Great Expectations and whatnot, I wanted to have my family come out there and celebrate Christmas with me there.
Yeah. So I wish you all the best.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
Having me on the show.
Yeah, and I wish you a lot of fun tonight.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Good. Bye-bye.